Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope all of you are doing well out there, and I hope you're enjoying your weekend. Well, you enjoyed your weekend, because I don't know when this is gonna come out. If I'm Superwoman, then it's gonna come out today. If not, then it will be during the week. I'll try my best. Okay, I know I've been gone for 3 weeks, and this is my version of being consistent at the moment. The fact that I'm even filming today, like, I'm proud of myself, because I had a bunch of 30 books to mark, and I marked them all this morning because I said, yeah, if I don't finish marking them, then I can't film. So I knew in my heart I wanted to film. So I got them books marked real quick, so here I am filming. I actually wanted to do this video today based on all of the questions I have been getting lately about my journey in teaching and my experience of my training year and all of that stuff. So rather than just typing back to you guys individually one by one, at least let me make a video and get as many questions from you guys as possible, to make sure I tackle all of those questions that you guys have, and of course to encourage you to get into teaching more than anything. We all know that there is a huge deficit in teaching at the moment, and there just isn't enough teachers within education, and that means if we don't have enough teachers in education, it means that existing teachers that are doing their job within the field of education, they are overwhelmed and they have a lot more on their plates than they ought to. And as well, who will be out here educating the kids once the teachers that are overwhelmed go off sick? Who will be educating the kids? So we need to make sure that, you know, we have people out here, people like me, that are trying to encourage you guys to be a teacher and just join this field, especially if you black, honey, especially if you are black. I am encouraging all of you guys to get into teaching. It is Black History Month, and I don't think it's a coincidence that this video is coming out this month and I've decided to release this video this month. Being a black teacher and being lucky enough to teach in an area which is predominantly black, which means our students are predominantly black, I feel like I am able to affect change there a lot, and the kids are obviously able to see a black woman who isn't what they are used to seeing, and they see a black woman that isn't just, you know, successful, but she's successful not because she's a rapper or because she's doing a model or she's doing influencer. Like, not, of course there's nothing wrong with those things, but the point is, them seeing me as a black woman as a teacher, they can see success in all its different varieties, and they can see it in a different form. So yeah, that was me rambling on, talking about how I think black people should get into teaching more, okay? Especially because a lot of us come from families that our parents obviously have encouraged us into certain professions, or because we only see teaching as a profession where you don't get paid a lot. I'm here to obviously dispel a lot of assumptions and obviously talk to you guys about my experience. That was the longest intro I've ever done in my damn life. But if you are interested in seeing how my experience was and answering your questions, then go ahead, please continue watching. And if you haven't subscribed at this point, I don't know what you're waiting for. I think you should go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I'm happy to see that this platform is growing and we're almost at 20k, guys. Oh my god, we're almost at 20k. So let's just get us to 20. Let's get ourselves, our whole family, let's get us to 20k. And yeah, this should be an interesting video. Okay, so it would only be fair if I started off talking about my actual experience, my training year, of course little things I learned here and there, and the application process. I have a video that goes into depth about my application process on my channel, I think. So maybe you should go and watch that first and then come back to this video. I'll probably put it in one of the card thingy jiggy bobs along here, then you could go and watch my video about my experience, but about my application process, sorry, but my experience. Okay, before I got into teaching, and I had a very lovely woman help me with my application, Hannah. Thank you so much. You were my helping guide, and I owe it all to you, God, of course, but I also owe it to you because you helped me so much. But yeah, I was lucky enough to have met Hannah, and she helped me with my application process, and she told me literally before I get into my training year, it's gonna be hard, okay? It's not gonna be easy, it might be the hardest thing that you will do, but it is rewarding. And I promise you not, I kid you not, she didn't lie, okay? She didn't lie. I'm glad I stayed bold for the majority of that year, because I would have lost my edges if not. So I'm glad. It was hard for a variety of different reasons. Of course, I had just left uni and I had just joined the workforce, and adjusting to this new working life was very different, and knowing that you're no longer a student and you can't fall back on the excuse of, oh, I'm a student, that's really difficult, especially when you work with children, because now it's not just about you, it's about the kids that you're teaching to. So you feel, in a sense, a heightened sense of responsibility when it comes to your kids. So things like calling in sick, that's not an easy thing to be doing, to call in sick and say, oh, I'm genuinely really ill and I can't come in today. You start feeling a sense of guilt because of the responsibility that is there. So it was very hard because of that. It was also very hard because whilst I was teaching, I did Schools Direct, by the way. Schools Direct just basically means whilst you are getting your QTS. I'm going to put all of these abbreviations down below because I'm used to the abbreviations now. Because not only Schools Direct means that not only are you in school teaching kids, you are actually gaining your QTS, also working towards your PGCE, and depending on the training provider you go with, maybe you're working a little bit on your masters too, which was what I was doing. So all of those things in one, and obviously of course on top of being a teacher, you start to plan lessons, mark books, do all of like the admin responsibilities. That ish was hard, man. That ish was hard, especially because I'm the kind of person, I love to relax. I like to like just take my time with things. I like to sit back. In this job, there's no time for that, okay? Unless you're on holiday and you've got the school holidays, there's no time during term, okay? You need to pull your socks off and make sure they're out at all points of time every single day. There's no time to be doing, oh, I'll do later. Like that. It was also hard because, like I said, I went to a school that's in my area, and because it's in my area, predominantly the student body, they're black. So I felt like, in addition to the responsibility I felt for all children, I felt like I had an additional responsibility to black students, because I've read so many things and I've experienced and I've seen a lot of things where black children, obviously they're not afforded the same kind of chances their peers have. And I knew in my heart that I was lucky enough to have teachers around me that worked themselves to the bone, and that effort translated in where I ended up in life, and I wanted to be that same kind of driving force for some of my kids. So obviously children are children, and their ability to reason and their ability to be rational is little to none. So sometimes certain behaviors that they display in the classroom, or certain behaviors that they display around the school or outside of school, of course I live in the local area, so I see them all the time, trying to get them to see beyond that so that they could save themselves and make themselves useful to themselves, their families, and to their local community is a very difficult job, and it's very frustrating sometimes. So that also made my training year incredibly hard. But I do not think it is something that can't be done. Of course it can be done. Look how many of us are becoming teachers a year, even though there is a deficit. No one I know on my training course didn't qualify to teach. Everyone was able to become a teacher, and everyone was able to be a professional whilst doing it. So it is something that I would say that I'm glad I done. I would definitely do it 50 million times over. It is one of the most rewarding jobs in the world. They're not lying about that. Even if it means, oh, you've spent the last 5 weeks talking to the kids about symbolism based on Curly's wife, and it's only now in the 5th week they finally get it. That sense of, wow, I taught them something, is amazing. Or them coming to you during lunchtime and saying, you know what, miss, like, you're the only person I could talk to in the school and I feel comfortable talking to you. That kind of, like, I know I'm supposed to be here. I'm glad I'm here, that kind of feeling. That's what I feel every day whilst I'm at school. So yes, the people around me that I talk to a lot, they know I was going for it. I would tell them all the time, oh guys, I'm so stressed, but I don't hate my job. Like I said, I love my job. I love working with kids. It's everything and more. My experience, of course, was unique to me, and everyone will have different experiences, and I think it's good to speak to lots of different people to find out how their experience was on their course, and maybe the kind of school that they were in. And remember as well, everyone is different, so the kind of things that I was happy to tolerate at my school, a lot of my colleagues were like, no, I'm not doing this, and that's okay, because that's just not, maybe this is not the school for you, because schools are different and they all have different characters, and it's all about thinking about what school fits within your ethos, or you know, what school's ethos makes you feel comfortable more than anything. So yeah, I was lucky enough as well to spend some other time at another school, and I was able to see differences between the schools and see how education and teaching is different based on different contexts, which made me understand a lot more things. And yeah, I would always say, no matter your training course, of course they will give you your placement, they'll give you lots of different placements so you can see what different schools are like, if it's a church school, a state comprehensive, mixed schools, single sex schools. Yeah, you'll have an opportunity to go around and actually see these different schools and see how they affect your teaching and which ones your teaching style fits into. So yeah, I enjoyed my experience as a teacher, and I enjoyed my training year, and I'm enjoying my NQT year more than anything else. Everything feels a lot easier now, and I can breathe because I know what I'm doing. So what I was worried about last year, oh guys, I look back at my lessons from last year and I said, smelly, I was teaching someone's kids. The lessons were pants, but it's okay because now a year on I can look back and I can see the issues with my lessons, and that means I've progressed, and that means I've made, you know, I've grown as a teacher, I've grown in my profession, and that makes me really happy to see. So the point is, as well, you might feel crappy at the beginning, but it's okay because you're a beginner teacher, hence why you have that title, and then later on you grow into an experienced, a somewhat experienced practitioner, and you feel more confident in front of classes, and you feel more confident about certain topics and your different skills within teaching. So my one advice would be to go in there with an open mind, speak up when you need help, talk to people, find a network, especially if you're black, find a black network. YBTN, amazing network. Yeah, you should definitely follow them as well because they're a great network for black teachers, and they host, I don't know what's wrong with my tongue today. They host lots of different events, so that you could go to the events, network with people, also spend time on your practice as a teacher, and upgrade your pedagogy, which is the theory of teaching. So yeah, I would highly rate following YBTN. Great, they're a great cause and they're a great group. Okay, question time. Wow, so I wasn't expecting this many questions, but it's okay, we'll get through it. Okay, so what did you study at uni? So I'm guessing this question, of course, is asking, I'm using my skills of inference right now, I'm guessing this question is asking me, did I use my degree, was it relevant for my subjects? And if that was okay, yeah. I studied politics and IR at the University of Kent. I teach English, of course. Wow, I didn't say what I teach. I teach English for secondary schools. I'm a secondary school teacher, so I teach year 7, 8, 9, 10. So yeah, I studied politics and international relations. I didn't need to do an English degree to teach English, but I do have an English A level. So if you want to teach English and you don't have an English A level, or you don't have an English degree, then I suggest you email someone from .gov.uk to teach part of the government, and I think they have lots of advisors that can advise you accordingly. But I think because there is a deficit in teachers right now, they will probably get you to do an SKE, and if they feel like you are capable of teaching English, so it won't be a one size fits all. So I wasn't asked to do an SKE, but I know you can request to do an SKE if you're feeling a bit shaky about your subject knowledge. So yeah, I studied politics and IR, but I still find it really relevant in the classroom. So what are your thoughts on career progression and the salary? Luckily, I work in a school where, well, I work within a group because my school is part of like a big group. So it's not just one school by itself, it's not standalone, it's like loads of different schools under one umbrella. So I work for a group, and luckily there's a lot of chances for career progression. A lot of the people I actually qualified with last year, some of them are already heads of departments, some of them are already heads of years. So people are already moving up the pay scale already. So there's definitely a lot of chances for career progression. But one thing I will say is don't feel the need to progress within your career until you're ready. The last thing you want to do is become promoted too early and then you become someone who's over promoted, but you have no idea what you're doing. You lack the skills you need in order to get the job done, because like I said, teaching is a career where there's a high turnaround and people leave just as much as they join. People are pushed into positions which they may feel like they're not ready for, and then as a consequence they affect the team. So be very critical about where you are and whether you're ready for career progression as of yet. Because if someone turned around to me tomorrow and said, oh, we'd like to make you head of year, excuse me, I'm not ready. I'm not ready yet, and that's okay. Yeah, it's okay to be like that. And money, of course, everyone wants to work. Well, not everyone wants to work. People work so of course they can pay bills. I think I'm in a great position already. I am living at home with my parents. I'm earning over 30k, and yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. That might be different for someone who might have a family already and they have a mortgage. 30k might not be what tickles their boat, but you do need to bear this in mind. In London, the average salary is between 20 to 30k, and I'm already at the upper scale of that. There is little money when you start in teaching, but as you make progress and you start doing lots of different things and you start wearing different hats, there's money to be made, honey, okay? There's lots of money to be made in teaching. Don't let people lie to you and tell you there's no money in teaching. There's no money when you start off. When you anyway, I know who I've spoken to in this field, and I know how much some of these people are making. They're making money. Don't let people lie to you. Yeah. What is the most rewarding part of the job? I think the most rewarding part of the job is the relationships that you build with your students. Like, I'm smiling already. I've met some awesome kids, and as much as I have the privilege of teaching them every day, they don't know this, but they teach me a lot about myself. They teach me a lot about the world. They teach me a lot about what it means to be compassionate and come to work ready and willing to do. So I've had days where I'm just like, oh, no one should talk to me today. No one should look at me in my eye. Nobody should just... Everyone, leave me the hell alone. And like, a kid will come into your room and be like, oh miss, I need to talk to you, I need to tell you something, and they'll tell you something and it will brighten your day, and then you're like, oh, I kind of wanted to be angry for the whole day, but now I can't be, because you've made me laugh, you've made me smile. I see them like my younger brothers and younger sisters, and in my mind they're my kids, my first ever kids. I'm always gonna remember every single one of them because they were the first kids I ever taught. And yeah, they've really helped me understand that this is exactly where I'm supposed to be, and the times where I feel like, oh, my purpose, I really don't want to do this, or I don't feel like I should be doing this, one of them will remind me that this is exactly what you ought to be doing. So that will be the most rewarding part of my job, creating relationships with them so that they feel safe within my classroom and they feel like they can trust me, but also as well seeing them grow academically. So yeah, that's the most rewarding part for me. What has been the biggest challenge for you so far? I think the biggest challenge for me so far has been subject knowledge. Yeah, I didn't do an English degree, so what you're required to know as an English teacher and the text that you're studying, like, you actually have to go out your way to understand these texts on a different level so that you can actually, of course, teach the kids. So that has been the hardest part for me, subject knowledge. But you never stop learning, even when you become a lead practitioner, which is like, you know everything to do with English, or you become a consultant where you know everything, you're still gonna have to go back and continue to refresh your knowledge, because even though the subject English may never change, the exams do, and the formats of assessments may change, and the things that we learn within our curriculum may change, so you never actually ever stop learning. So yeah, subject knowledge. I love how passionate you get when you speak on your students. We love to see it. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I think we need more teachers that actually care about their students, not just there to get a paycheck. And luckily, I actually do work with people that do care about the students. They're not just there for the paycheck. So yeah, we do love to see it. I agree. Part 1, I thought you can't post pictures and videos of you online when you're a teacher. And part 2, what if your students or their parents find your page? You know what, that's something I thought about a lot when I was going into teaching. How would I feel if they asked me to close my page down and close my Instagram down? I knew I would be hurt, and I've worked for a long time. I've been doing YouTube for almost 5 years. Oh my god, yeah, I've been doing YouTube for almost 5 years now, and yeah, this is something I've worked on for myself, and I can say with my heart that I'm proud of my page and I'm proud of Instagram, because I feel like this platform isn't just a platform to make fun videos, try on hauls. I feel like we've gone through a lot together, subscribers and me, YouTube person and my subscribers. We've gone through a lot together, and like I said, just as much as I could, maybe you guys have learned from me, I've also learned things from you when you guys have emailed me. So I'm proud of this page, and yeah, I don't think this page is anything to look at and be ashamed of. So me hiding it away and trying to keep things more low-key is to say there's an attachment of shame to it, and I'm not ashamed of this space at all. Like, this is a safe space for a lot of people. It's a safe space for me, and this is my baby, and I'm sure everyone else has their own things that they indulge in. What do they want me to do? If tomorrow now Beyonce sees my page and says to me, oh, Kike, I need you to come on tour, just I don't know what she will want me on tour for, but let's just say she just wanted me to come on tour because she saw my videos. Do you think I want to pass up that bag? No. And you know what? Funniest thing, my kids will understand. So no, I'm yeah. How did you know teaching was for you? When every other avenue I tried to go down slam the doors in my face. Remember, I wanted to be an architect when I was like 10. Then I wanted to become a child psychologist at the beginning of secondary school. Then I wanted to become a pharmacist. Then I wanted to become an accountant. And then like everywhere I went, it was just like teaching. And I was just like, I don't want to do this because I'm going to be poor. I'm going to be broke. I'm not trying to be broke in this life, okay? I've got expensive taste and I need a good paycheck. But yeah, everywhere I went, teaching was in my face. So I just knew it was for me. I'm in the job, I love it, I'm learning. Yeah, this is where I'm supposed to be. What made you decide on secondary, and would you teach any other year group? I decided on secondary because I knew I can affect change there easier, and you can actually have conversation with the kids and them understand what you're talking about, and especially with like the higher sets, you can have some really in-depth conversations with them about theories, ideas, inferences, lots of different things. You can't do that with primary school kids. And with primary school kids, you have no free periods, okay? You're teaching them from 9 o'clock to 3 p.m. and you're teaching maths, English, science, history, geography, what else? Music. You're doing it all with them. I ain't got that time, okay? I just want to specialize on one subject, have my free periods so I can mark my books and see different kids. Primary school, it's the same 30 kids every day. And I don't have time for someone to be saying, oh, Miss, Tommy pinched me. I don't have time for that because I don't have time. Because even the year 7s at secondary school, oh God, I trained them pretty quick. I don't want to be hearing that. I don't want to be hearing, Miss, somebody said this. I don't have time for that. If it's common sense, yeah, ask your friend, look in your book, look on the board before you ask me, yeah? I just knew I couldn't. It's not the kind of teaching. I'm not there to babysit. And sorry, primary school teachers. The same way they might say that about the secondary school kids. They might say they're not there to be doing, I don't know. I don't know what they might say about the secondary school kids, but I just knew I couldn't do primary school kids. That's a no-go, honey. It's not for me. Yeah. Whew, that's a lot of questions. So those are all the questions. I hope this video was useful. I hope I've encouraged you to become a teacher or to start thinking about your future career within education. Like I said, if you're a black homie and you're thinking of teaching, okay, please reach out. I'll be happy to encourage you personally. We need more of us within teaching, okay? There are a lot of us, our kids as well in schools, that need someone to look up to, especially if you're a black man. Please think about getting into a career within teaching. It is worthwhile for you, it's worthwhile for the kids more than anything else. So like I said, if you have any additional questions, please reach out. I'll be happy to answer all of them. Yeah, I hope we just have an amazing week, and I will see you soon, hopefully for another video. Bye.